Mr. Executive Rod Serling is here to see you.
Good Lord! Hasn't he taken the hint? We're done with the Twilight Zone. Whatever. Just let him in.
Mr. Executive, I've made an incredible discovery, but it's not something you're going to want to hear.
Honestly, Rod, you've claimed to make so many discoveries at this point, and I never want to hear them because whatever nonsense you spout never turns out to be incredible.
This time is different. We all know that everyone experiences delusions of grandeur now and then. I'm willing to admit that even I have before.
You are?
That's right. Even an incredible Hitler-killing genius writer like myself could fall victim to such delusions.
Oh my God, Rod, are you actually having a breakthrough? Realizing how absolutely bananas 90% of the stuff you say is?
What? No. Though my first breakthrough is banana-related. This banana, to be more specific.
Oh, Lord.
You see, I recently purchased an odd-looking banana from a foreign gentleman in a local food mart. He told me of its powers, and it's all true. Anything I say into this banana comes to fruition.
Rod, we're done here. You're done in this business. The Twilight Zone is done. Get out of my office.
Oh, sure. And then the angry executive has a change of heart and decided at the last moment to reinstate genius writer Rod Serling and greenlight additional episodes of The Twilight Zone.
You know what? On second thought, Rod, maybe I've been too harsh. Boop. Dolores, I've decided we're going forward with the next season of The Twilight Zone. Make the necessary arrangements.
Are you sure, Mr. Executive? Because earlier you said...
I've never been more sure. Get it done.
Right away, sir.
I'm so glad you changed your mind, Mr. Executive. The next season of The Twilight Zone is going to be great. More lights, more shadows, more genius stories.
Whoa, wait. What just happened? Did I really just approve more Twilight Zone?
That's right. And if you try to backpedal now, well, you don't want to see what me and this banana are capable of.
This is ridiculous.
The angry executive smacked himself in the face, clearing his mind of any doubt of another season of The Twilight Zone.
All right. Season 2 will be good to go. It's gonna be great.
Mr. Executive, I'm so glad to hear you have so much confidence in the show. So much confidence in my writing. In me. Though, of course, I never had any doubt. After all, I am Rod. Rod! 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 Rod? Rod?
Boop. Are you okay in there, sir? I'm hearing a lot of strange noises out here.
I'm fine, but Rod came in here, sat down on my couch and pointed a banana at me and just started making noises.
Should I call the studio shrink? Maybe it's time to finally have him committed.
No, Dolores, I think he's beyond that. Contact flight control. We'll get him loaded on the next studio rocket and just ship him off planet. A man this crazy needs to be confined to a world of his own.
They irritate the irritated, flex perplexities, poise puzzles, magnify mysteries, impose inquiries, and coagulate quandaries. But more importantly, they ask one question.
Why would you make this?
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thanks for listening. This is Why Would You Make This? The only podcast that makes you ask the question, why would you make this? I am Jimmy Time. I'm joined by Huge. How are you? That's fine. I'm also joined by J Delta. Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Yo, it's like April already.
Yeah, it's horrible.
How do we still have it?
Yo, life has gotten cruel and heartless since our last episode.
I was gonna say that is the downside of us filming or recording these episodes ahead of time.
Don't tell them that.
Is that by the time this comes out, people are gonna be so sick
Yeah.
of any Corona-related or Corvid-related jokes or commentaries.
No. Not of, from.
It could be both. Yeah, but for us, it's fresh and new. Ooh, nice, healthy Corvid. So we watched A World of His Own, the 36th episode in the first season of the 1960 Twilight Zone, wherein a writer demonstrates he can control reality simply by dictating changes. So, we could hot debate. Let's hot debate. You think that when this episode does come out, say at the end, like end of March and beginning of April, this is all gonna be done, right? All this Corvid stuff, I can say it now as a point to the future. I hope you guys are living a safe and healthy life, considering that this disease has already blown over the second this podcast was done, right? Because they'd be about 2 weeks since then, so it's already over.
Yep.
It's already over.
I will take the con side of the debate, in which this went horribly wrong. We handled this in the worst way possible in America, and we look incompetent to the world, and people are ready to totally revolt. Who's to say, though?
But I thought America was number one at everything.
Did you?
I mean, I kind of did. Is that not right?
Really? You thought that?
That's what I keep getting told.
Oh, my God. Oh!
Wait a minute. Looks like he's gonna burst.
You know what else I hear? I hear sometimes that when we're not as good as we should be, it's because of other countries.
Oh, I heard that too.
Right?
Yeah. It's their fault.
Oh!
I heard it's because we need to go back to the way things used to be
That's
in this
true.
country.
That's
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it is I, Trooth Man. That's with 2 O's. Sponsored by Nabisco. And I'm here to tell you, you gentlemen are exactly right. This is exactly what the truth is. Nothing to worry about. COVID-19, no worries. You're right. America's great. Number one, we handle everything the best.
Wow. Truth Man.
That's right. You got it.
Wow.
Everything's great here in America. Everything's under control. No worries. And, well, you folks just keep being great Americans.
Wow. Such a weight off my shoulders to know that someone's looking out for us.
That is. Especially because I heard some guy at work. He said, what happens when they have to close down the work?
You shut your fucking mouth!
Oh.
We'll throw you in jail and make you work for free.
For what?
For me. You'll work for free for me.
Well, free is good though, right? Shouldn't we all get stuff for free?
You shut your fucking mouth or I'll throw you in jail too.
I don't know about this new Truth Man.
Now keep saluting! This is America! Number one! I love it.
Yo, no joke. Every time someone tells me to do America patriotism, I always sing "Oh Canada." So where are we? That was the truth hour, right?
Truth hour.
All right. So the truth is this. I don't think you wrote it down. Whatever. What? At some point, when it was
1st.
released, when the episode was released.
July 1st.
Oh, you wrote it down there. Oh, I don't write it down there. I write it down above there.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you do it like this?
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, after 135 episodes, I've learned something. So, episode aired July 1st.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, good. Just making sure that was the truth. So, June 26th, the Havana Sugar Kings played their last game in Cuba. I would presume their last game ever, because did they move to America?
Yeah. They
What?
moved to Jersey City. Became the Jersey City Jerseys.
Oh, wow.
You're the baseball guy.
What
is
did
any
they,
is any of that true?
Yeah, I think I've heard of that team. What did they wear? What kind of costume?
Sugar. It was weird.
was
Didn't
weird.
make any sense.
Just a big cube.
Yeah.
The big old cube of sugar.
They just jumped in a pool and then rolled around in sugar. Whatever stuck to their body the whole game, that's all it was.
I have been to many a Jersey City Jersey game. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I have. I'm stating a fact. I've been there.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I can't say much because I'm a big fan of their rivals. Big old oil spouts.
A big ol'.
Just too many. It's too just boo. Ooh. Big old oil spout. Booze. Go booze. June 28th, lightning strikes started 143 separate fires across Arizona and New Mexico in a single day. That's rough.
Yeah.
Also, John Elway was born. That might be rough as well. I don't know. I'm not a football fan.
Oh, okay. You just turn to me because I'm like Mr. Sports Guy?
Yeah.
There it is?
Yes.
All right, yeah. Yeah, okay. What do you want to know? Yeah, I'll tell you.
Did he do anything important?
John Elway?
Yeah.
So he did nothing for a long time, and everyone was like, wow, this guy is really good, but he's never won a championship, so fuck him. Right? But then he won, and he was like, all right, I'm leaving. And they were like, okay, cool. We will never, ever, ever, ever think poorly of you. Then he became a part owner of a team, and now people think not so great of him because of his, non-African-American supportive ways.
Oh, my God.
Yikes.
Well, took a dark turn.
I don't understand. I mean, we just keep giving money to racists and people who don't care about the well-being of, well, anyone outside of themselves, and things just keep getting worse. I don't get it.
Well, all right.
June 29th, Cuba nationalized. A lot of stuff happening in Cuba, huh?
Yeah.
Cuba nationalized the Tesco oil refinery after the corporation refuses to process Soviet petroleum. So now Cuba has oil?
Well, they nationalized this, so they're like, oh, all that oil? Yeah, belongs to the nation now. That's why we hate them.
Oh, because they
want their own oil. Can you believe that?
I see what happens. I see there.
disrespect.
Damn, those jerks.
Well, hopefully nothing happens to them in the next couple of years over there in Cuba.
That's what they get for trying to live off their own land.
That's what I'm saying.
So, June 30th, the Belgian Congo was proclaimed independent from the Belgium's King Baudouin.
Nailed it.
Yo, imagine that was your real king name. What's your king name? Baudouin.
We get it. You're a king. Fine.
Well, yeah. Holy shit. What do you want me to do for you, King Baudouin? Oh. What do you think?
Whatever. There were riots days later. It always happens. New government shows up. The old government's like, that's not fair. And the people are like, but we voted for it. Yes, it is. And then the old government, like, they put in a fake.
Oh.
Well, why would I say it if you know?
We voted for them. Yeah, but that was the wrong vote. So we'll fix
We're going to do it again.
Oh, yeah.
Why can't they just do it American style, right? Dummies. Just put in some superdelegates. People who we don't know or can't be held accountable and aren't sure what their background is at all, but they have more majority of votes.
Guys,
Wait a minute.
don't worry about the super delegates. As long as we have the electoral college,
That's
everything
what
will
I'm
be
saying.
fine.
Wait, so you're saying millions of more people voted for that person? Well, would make sense if that person were put in charge, right? Does that make sense to you?
I don't know nothing. I just let my government take control of everything.
Smart. That's always my recommendation.
I mean, if the government ain't controlling you, how do you know you're being controlled?
Well, the government told me I wasn't being controlled.
I think that's solid. I mean, how do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know
Yeah.
if you're being controlled unless the government's controlling you? I'm just saying. Better the devil you know than not voting for a devil, right? Isn't that how the saying goes?
Something like that.
Where are we? I forgot. My Birthday Ninja. Oh, I forgot about that in the last episode. I don't believe in it. Doesn't matter.
I thought you were. I was like, oh, okay, we're phasing it out.
So we're phasing it out.
Phasing it back in.
Well, that's how you fit phases. It's in phases. It's in, then it's out, then it's in, then it's out. Okay. So who were you in a past life? You were female, born somewhere around North Europe in approximately 1775. You were a builder of roads, bridges, and docks. As a female? Well, maybe. 1775. America was around, so it could have been. A brief psychological profile where you were a revolutionary type. See, America.
All right.
You inspired changes in any sphere: political, business, religion, housekeeping. Oh, that's where that women part comes in. Could be a leader.
Could be.
Could be in a house. Yes, you are president made. Oof. And then what about this now? You are going to solve problems regarding pollution of the environment. They didn't know what pollution was back in 1775.
Solve any of those problems.
Yo, pollution was like sometimes when I go whaling, other people's spears are already in the whale I'm taking.
Oh, I hate
Like,
when
that was their
happens.
idea of pollution.
And it's great, because now I got more spears for the next whale.
But they're of a poor quality.
So I guess it's a first person.
It's a first world problem.
First world problem. First person.
A first world whaling problem.
I'm all out of Scrimshaw again.
Who were you? Can you remember? That's how they end it. Like they're ending one of their great segments. So let's go on. The best hour.
Our favorite hour.
The Troy McClure hour. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from such midlife crisis films as Yarg, Set Course for Divorce, The Search for New Booty, or The Fast and the 40-ish. Today, we're here to teach you all about dealing with your divorce. All right, so this episode was directed by Ralph Nelson. Forgot that in the last episode, too. Oh, well. Written by Richard Matheson. Yeah, he has consistently put out some good stuff, so this hopefully will be a good episode.
He's had the best episodes so far,
Yeah.
I think, right?
I think so, yeah. I think almost all of his episodes have been, like, there's some ones that Charles Beaumont has written where I've been like, it's okay, but I'm pretty sure. Matheson, that's your man. Should I continue going on promoting a man that's probably been dead for about 4 decades?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. So Keenan Wynn plays Gregory West. You remember him? The 1950 Annie Get Your Gun, the 1961 The Absent-Minded Professor, and in the 1946 Dr. Strangelove.
Nope.
1964 Dr. Strangelove. Yo, you have a backwards brain and fucking pretend like life's okay. Phyllis Kirk plays Victoria West. Oh, right, I forgot. Yeah.
Whoops.
The next one I didn't change, but I copy and pasted the script.
Frank Wolf as Baron. So we don't know who whatever her name was. What was it? Anne? Mary? No clue who Mary was.
And Frank Wolf as Mary. She looks fantastic, doesn't she?
Yo, I can't believe on the last episode of this season, we botched the Troy McClure hour so bad, I'm just going to skip it. You can see the full cast and crew at imdb.com. We're going on to the episode now. So we get the opening narration. Home of Mr. Gregory West, one of America's most noted playwrights. I never heard of him.
So dismissive. Well, I never heard of him. I guess I'll keep reading.
Yo, that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Like, we're finally not getting a story written by Serling, and I'm like, that's how Serling would have fucking took this attitude with it. Oh, yeah, I never heard of him. Not so great as Rod Serling, is he? Home of Mr. Gregory West, one of America's most noted playwrights. The office of Mr. Gregory West. Mr. Gregory West. I'm sorry, he says Mr. Gregory West so many times in such great succession. Home of Mr. Gregory West, one of America's most noted playwrights. Office of Mr. Gregory West. Mr. Gregory West. Shy, quiet, and at the moment, very happy. Mary, warm and affectionate. Mary encourages... Wait, is this still a voiceover?
No.
Oh, okay. Mary encourages Gregory to get to work while she makes a martini. Perfect as always. And he refers to her as the mistress. Ooh. and we see a woman outside of the window just leering.
Finally.
And we get the narration continued. And the final ingredient, Mrs. Gregory West. Gregory hears the outside door unlock, and his wife, Victoria, calls for him. Oh, Greg. Mary's like, oh, don't do it. Not again. Not again. Outside the office, we see Victoria knocking on the door. It's like, I've come here. I've come to kiss you. I just have to kiss you. Gregory lets her in with scissors in hands. And she bursts in and she sees nothing at all. Oh, my. Blackout.
Does anyone else hate her face? Yeah. It's such a fucking old, ham it up, 1950s, 60s style.
Yeah, it is definitely. I think it's 100% like a. I mean, I didn't look it up.
Like
so
stage acting?
Yeah, I think that must be what it is. It's a very stage acting mentality that they didn't know how to translate over.
Crank it up to 12.
Yeah, well, the back row has to see it, but in theater, there's no back row. I mean, there is. You have dyslexia!
Buckle.
What was her name? Gamtroot?
Gamtroot.
Arbuckle and Gamtroot.
Yo, Arbuckle had so many partners in his career.
People say he kept killing them, but there's no proof of that. So we get our first sponsor, Randallson's Cleansing Fire. We've all got problems that just won't go away, no matter how hard you try. You just can't get ahead or escape your past. Well, worry no longer. Massive debts, nagging wife, ungrateful kids. With Randallson's Cleansing Fire, you can leave all that behind in a smoldering pile of ash. Please use responsibly. We come back, Gregory asks his wife, oh, why are you home so early from the movies? I am embarrassed that when he said that, I was like, they didn't have movies back then. Like, instantly, I was like, what? What a world of fantasy this guy just made up. And so accurate, too, to the future. So he's like, why are you back from the movie? And she's just like looking around the room and like touching walls and like banging on them looking for a, is there a secret room in here somewhere? And he's like, no.
Does this mean she's the type of person who leaves the theater mid-film?
Yeah, I guess so.
Hot debate. Ever done it? Do you leave you go to the theater for a movie. It's horrible. Do you leave midway through or do you just stick it out?
I've never been to a theater like with such disregard for what was playing that whenever I go to a theater, it's because I know what I'm seeing and I want to see it. And if it's bad, I want to see what's happening.
Yeah.
Once.
What?
Once. I did it once. I regret it, but once. And it was Ultraviolet.
Ooh.
And you had to relive that again.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, now you know what you missed out on.
Awful.
Yeah, anyway, so Gregory
Helms.
Oh. That's a reference everyone will get. Even wrestling fans. So Victoria she continues to suspiciously look around the room and is like, oh, maybe I'm suffering hallucinations. That's what she thought. She goes back and forth between accusing herself and him and herself.
Yeah.
And it's a little like, ooh. She was just outside the window and she saw a woman in his arms. A woman!
That's so ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I mean,
explain the whole thing to me then. How else can I ask you how much you saw without actually asking you what did you see? Go ahead, explain your delusion to me.
Was my dick out when you were out there? Oh, it wasn't? Okay.
No?
It's not that bad. Then.
Oh, good, because it was a delusion if it was. She's like, oh, hey, let me describe you to her. Oh, she was blonde with a frumpy dress and a short skirt, and so there's no way you would ever be interested in someone so drab. And he's like, oh, I mean, she's not that drab.
Oh, got you.
I knew it. I knew it, and then I knew it, and this proves that I knew it. And he's like, hang on. Look. you remember my play, Night of the Fury of the Night?
Nope, never heard of it.
Yeah.
Yo, I love it when he says that because then she just goes, "Here we fucking go," and
Oh.
she turns. It's just like, here it is again with this shit.
Fury of the Night again. Oh my god.
He's got a name drop. You remember my hit Broadway play, Fury in the Night, starring Gamtrude the Great? Of Arbuckle and Gamtrude fame.
I just imagine that this is a constant argument that Sterling was having with his wife. Did I see you with another woman? Honey, you know my famous teleplay, Time Enough at Last, right? You know the famous one? Look, it's like that. You'll die alone. So he's like, my play. She's like, just tell me her name. I just want to know her name. And he's like, it's Mary. And she's like, oh, what a common name, Mary. Ooh, a peasant's child. Gregory tries to explain that sometimes his characters come to life so vividly they take over the story. And he explains that Philip Wainwright was one of his characters from his play, and he came alive and had his own will. And, he came alive like that. He had a will of his own with the story, but then one night while he was working in his office, Philip Wainwright, not the character, the human being, walked through into my office alive, being like, here I am, the man you made me. And Victoria's like, cool, I'm gonna call a shrink. And he stops, he's like, hang on, look, I'll explain it to you. I have this tape recorder. I say stuff onto it, and then I take it, and he mimes the whole thing, and then they come to life. And then I cut it up, and he mimes it, and I put it into the fire. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just do it? Why do you mime it? Look, I'll show you. Yeah.
Let's all go to the land.
I'll put on this play to prove how free.
Do you remember my award-winning mime?
Honey, you remember my award-winning play, I Could Never Cheat on You, right? And it's award-winning sequel, and if it seems like I did, you're delusional.
And its sequel, and if you don't buy that, I'll have you committed, you psycho bitch.
You should. They're all about you. So, Victoria, she goes to the psych, and he's like, no, look, if I explain them on the tape recorder well enough, they just come alive. And he explains that that's what happened. As I explained Mary on the tape recorder, then I took the tape, I cut it off, and I threw it into the fire. Poof, she's gone. And she's like, oh boy. He's like, look, I'll do it. Look, there's Mary, 35'6", nice, blonde, fair, tender, gentle, loving, blah, blah, blah. And I think this is when it happens, which is while he's doing that, she's like, I'm going to sneak this key out of his pocket. Is this when this happens?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go out this door. And he's like, and she's walking to the front door now, and you hear the front door open, and she's like, what the fuck? And she's walking down the hallway, and you hear footsteps, and she's like, oh my God! And then she walks to the door, and she's like, oh. Like she seems less freaked out when the person walks through for some reason. And we get another blackout.
Oh, yeah.
Or, excuse me, first she looks, she's like, oh, good afternoon, Miss West. So, I don't know, she's not a mannequin.
They do the
or
weird
something.
odd couple thing where it's the door separates the two people who are like,
I like to love my husband. I like to nag my husband. I don't think either of you are married to him. Yeah. So sponsor number 2, Stampy & Sons patented guard elephant. Does your home, family, or business need protecting? Armed guards too expensive? Dogs too easily distracted by stakes? When it comes to protecting what's important to you, remember that bigger is always better, and our patented guard elephants are the biggest. Give your intruders a surprise they'll never forget with Stampy & Sons patented guard elephants. Oh, were you watching Simpsons when you wrote this?
No, it's just burned into my brain.
Okay, that's fine by me. It's an homage.
It's not stealing.
No. I put a hat on. So we come back and Victoria seems freaked out. She still thinks that there's a secret door somewhere trying to make her insane. there's a secret door somewhere, and that he is trying to make her insane, and thus can have her committed, even though that was what her plan was.
I love that at this time, it was just common knowledge. I could be like, well, look, I'll just call up a psychiatrist and have you committed, and you'll just be locked in a crazy house. Oh, yeah? Well, I'll tell them you're crazy and have you committed. Like, I'm convinced if this is how it worked, couples would just rat on each other. They'd both just get locked up and committed, and the government would just take their house.
That's probably what happened, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but that's also probably where a lot of misconceptions about mental health stems from. This ridiculous notion of like, hey, do you disagree with me? Yeah, brain prison.
Remember that hit 90s show, Brain Prison?
Brain prison. So they argue over who should commit who to what establishment. Mary kind of just seems hurt that Greg brought her back just to show him to the wife. She's like, oh, just don't bring me back anymore. Right? Is that what she says?
Yeah.
Just don't do it. And he's like, well, that's just the way it is. And he's like, well,
She is my
she's
wife.
my wife. So it's, look, I'm going to take your tape and I'm going to toss it into the fire. And he tosses it into the fire and she disappears. And Victoria is just like, what? What the fuck? Like straight up like, hey dog, this treat's in my hand. Okay, now it's not. She was full on like confused, like animal confused. Where'd she go? Gregory says that he uncreated her.
Horrifying.
Yeah, I know.
Monstrosity.
Don't worry, I won't do it again. It's like, oh my
I
god.
don't know about that.
Gregory says that he did it because of how perfect Victoria is, and he felt inferior and lonely, and with Victoria, he feels like a worm and inadequate compared to her.
Oh, what a great excuse to use when you get caught cheating.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, you don't understand. I'm not good enough for you, so I had to have sex with this younger, more attractive woman.
Really, it's how you made me feel about me. So you're fucking up.
It's your fault, really.
I love that. No. The problem is you're so great, you don't deserve me, and I had to prove it. Because I kept telling you I'm scum, and you're like, no, you're great. And I was like, all right, I'll fucking show you.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm right.
I'm right. Hey, guess what? It's me. I'm great.
And if you disagree, I'll lock you up in the loony bin.
You're committed. I'll send you to brain prison. It's just a brain with a purple background, and it just like vibrates out. Like, when you do like that hyperdelic, the colors keep going away from it, but nothing moves. Anyway.
But it's still a 90s teen drama? Like
Yeah,
it's
so
Blossom and Brain Prison.
So it's just mind prison. I don't think Jake's going to take me to homecoming.
Next week on a very special Brain Prison.
But where did he get the drugs? So, yeah, Victoria's confused. Where did he go? Uncreated her. You're great. You're the best. That's why I cheated on you, because you're so great. She starts walking out. He's like, where are you going? He's like, duh, I'm going to go get a lawyer and I'm going to go have you committed. That's how that works. We've already established that. He's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And she's like, no, see you. And he's like, grabs the tape recorder. There's a giant red-eyed elephant standing in my hallway and I won't let her pass. And all of a sudden, yep, we don't see it, but she's just like, ah!
What do you mean we don't see it? I saw the elephant.
Did we really see the elephant? Because I didn't see no elephant.
There was an elephant.
That was what made me mad. That elephant had blue eyes. That was a blue-eyed elephant. There were no red eyes on that elephant. And it was a big-ass elephant.
I saw no elephant, so...
There was an elephant.
This is the same thing with that freaking
Franklin,
yeah. You know how he whispered Franklin? We're like, what are you talking about?
At first, it's her reaction, and you hear the elephant, and I'm like, here we go. It's, just use the sound effects. No real elephant. But then it cuts to the reverse shot, and there's an elephant.
Oh, yeah, maybe I do remember an elephant.
Oh, my God.
Maybe he did scream Franklin.
Oh, wait, that elephant? I thought you were talking about
I thought that was a pachyderm.
I only watched this episode once, so I guess I didn't. It should have spent more time on the elephant.
I really would think you'd remember, I don't know, an elephant.
Yo, the writers did too. So an elephant appears before Victoria, and she runs back inside Greg's office and closes the door. And she's like, "Get rid of it, get rid of it." And he's like, "Okay, if you stay." And she's like, "Yeah, whatever you, I'll stay." And snip, snip into the fire. It's gone. She opens the door and it's gone. She goes, "Huh. You're crazy! You're stark raving mad." And she goes to leave, and he's like, "I'll create another elephant." She goes, No.
Yo, imagine just being able to threaten your wife daily with elephants.
Yeah, that's horrible, but also, that woman is insanely delusional. Yo, I saw you cheating with a woman. That means you're cheating. You also just saw an elephant. Why is that elephant not real? Like, where is your logic here?
Yeah, her everything she sees, her end game is just getting him committed.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what she sees or does not see.
She is correct. Doesn't matter.
Your Honor, I would like you to have this man committed. For what mental illness? Well, he cheated on me. Okay.
He stays home all day and just drinks martinis.
So why should we have him committed? Well, you see, because he cheated on me. Yeah, but you're trying to have him committed. I'd cheat on you too if you constantly try to have me committed. Not guilty. Or not committed.
Sorry, are you trying to have your husband arrested for being an average American male? I don't...
Yes.
Right, he cheats, he drinks, he womanizes. I don't see anything wrong with this. You go to jail. So, where are we now? You're going to be committed. And Greg is like, "You know what? I'm going to go into this bookshelf and move these books and open this safe." And you didn't have to say this, but for some reason I really liked this as a touch, which Victoria's like, "How long's that been there?" Yeah. And he's like, "Ever since we got married." She's like, "Huh."
Oh,
And he pulls an envelope out of the safe, very small safe, and it has her name on it, Victoria West. And he's like, "Look, this is you right here. You know, I made you flawless, but maybe you're too flawless. I don't know. I could throw it in the fire, but, you know, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll put it back in the safe. Because, you defied me for the first time ever, and that's crazy. But I think you'll learn from this lesson." And she's like, "Yo, your game is dumb. Give me that thing. I'll throw it in the fire."
Victoria, no!
No! And she's like, you met...
Oh, so she was Truth Man the whole time.
Yeah, and she's like, "What? You were telling the truth. You were right." Disappears into nothing. And Gregory's like, "Oh, no, I told her. He grabs the tape recorder. He's like, "Victoria West, she's, Mary West." And Mary appears, and she starts making a martini. I wasn't fully certain if this was him being... I mean, he said, "Let well enough be well enough."
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if he decided, or if he was like, "She's, holy shit, I haven't looked at her in years. I don't know what the fuck she's like." Like, if he kind of was like, "Ooh, I couldn't do this if I tried to." Oh, well, Mary it is.
It was like the old Victoria, but not a bitch who tried to get me committed.
So, yeah, she makes the martini. Rod Serling appears on the desk holding the tape recorder, and he's like, "Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's story. It was a romantic one on the Twilight Zone, and I know that's totally fictional, and a real thing like this could never, ever happen in real life." And we pan back to Gregory, and he's like, "Rod, what are you doing here and saying such childish nonsense?" And he goes into the safe and pulls out an envelope, and it has Rod Serling's name on it. And he tosses in the fire, and I go, "Well, that's the way it goes." And then Greg sits back down in his chair and drinks his martini. But then we get the closing narration. So apparently he's not dead. Leaving Mr. Gregory West, still shy, quiet, very happy, and apparently in complete control of the Twilight Zone.
But he's still narrating.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dems the brakes.
Them's the breaks. Sometimes the guy that makes you wants to kill you for no reason.
yo, he's a psycho. He just creates. He's got the delusions of a madman, just creating life and destroying it willy-nilly.
Without regard. Without regard. I really wanted to know, like, if he was like, I have to destroy Victoria, because if she tries to get divorced from me, they're going to ask a lot of questions like, where's your birth certificate? And who are you? You don't have any proof of being married to him. Where's all the fraud
Why
you've
did you
been
bring this
then he
elephant
takes-
into the courtroom?
He takes the judge's envelope and throws that in the fire. And then when the police come, he throws their envelope in the fire.
Right. And then the fire reaches into the safe and throws Gregory's into the...
Oh.
He described himself. What the...
And the real winner is the stationery store that Gregory West has to keep going to for all these envelopes.
Oh, didn't you know? God's just one big stationery store owner. Didn't you read that story? God's always trying to sell you gum at the end of the universe.
I must have missed that one.
You must have. Good. It was terrible. So tropes and morals. Some tropes is arbitrary skepticism, which is she doesn't believe things that she believes and then sees things that she should believe but doesn't believe. And it's whatever I want to believe in is what I want to believe in.
You just saw it. Yeah, but I don't believe it.
What a novel concept in this country.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't make even a single political reference or... God. Anyway. Betty and Veronica, which is a trope of, there's a blonde-haired woman and a dark-haired woman. Which one do you go for? Bookends, which is the same thing happens at the start and the end. Both him on a couch drinking a martini. Bottle episode, totally bottle episode, except for that hallway shot. Ooh, that elephant.
Yeah, a bottle episode is supposed to be as cheap as possible. They're like, ooh, and an elephant. That you didn't even notice.
No. Despite the fact that I made a reference to it in last episode's opening skit of that's what dogs and monkeys are for. Do you have a solid story? No. Throw an animal in there. What else do we have? Dramatic drop. He drops the martini glass when Victoria knocks on the door. Grew beyond their programming. Victoria is creation, and she grew beyond the creation's intent. Oh crap, which is the oh crap moment, which is Victoria throws her own, lifeline on the fire. She's like, oh, you were telling the truth. What's the moral of this? Don't get caught cheating, same as last episode? Yeah. Don't get caught cheating. Yo, Serling was definitely going through a divorce.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, man.
Damn it, just got one of my Emmys now.
Oh, wait, did you not understand the cheating metaphor in the baseball episode?
Let me make it more literal. Whew. Yeah. So, next episode there is no next episode. It's the next season. We don't have any plans for that yet. There's no, the next time, they still have months before that happens for them. They don't have any timeline like that yet. And I told you to look through and write down some of the episodes you like, or?
These are mostly good ones. The last two I remember being total trash.
Oh, I wonder how your list goes to my list.
So what do your list is here? You have Man in the Bottle, which is episode 2.
That
I
was
got that
alright,
one.
yeah.
It's a genie
Okay.
episode, you say?
Eye of the Beholder, that's a classic.
Oh, of course, yep. It's on
Nick
there.
of Time, we get Shatner for the first time, and he is superstitious. Penny for Your Thoughts, that's a classic one. Dick York. From
Right, that's
that
the
show.
other Darren from Bewitched, which is a show no one will remember.
Odyssey of Flight 33, which is one of the 15 eventual Twilight Zone episodes that starts with a plane and ends with time travel.
I'm almost positive the first episode does that of season 2.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? Aliens, y'all.
Man.
The Obsolete Man, Big Scary Government.
I'm surprised that's on your list.
It was alright.
Make a list of your favorite episodes. This one's okay.
Well, it's his favorite, Burgess
yeah,
Meredith.
Yeah. And then some of the trash ones. Mr. Dingle the Strong.
Yeah,
That's trash. You hate that one? And
Mr.
then,
Garbage.
Dingle is horrendous.
It's fucking... And then
Is it worse than the other Mr. titled? Was Mr.
Oh, Mr.
Beavis?
Beavis?
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Dingle is so much worse.
yeah.
Great.
It's I feel it's like, hey, what if aliens just gave a guy magic powers?
Yep.
And then Night of the Meek, which I think is just sentimental Christmas garbage.
Okay.
I have nothing left except for, because I have everything that's on your list is on mine except for 22. I don't know if you remember 22. That's the one. 22
Is it 22 or is it number 22?
The number 22.
The number 22, that's what it's called.
Yeah. Where this woman is having this recurring dream.
Well, I mean, do we really want to spoil him out like that? Why don't we?
Well, I
know
mean,
what I
yeah,
mean?
Mr. Dingle.
Well, that's the, it is what it is.
You should also check out Shadow Play, and I can't remember specifically what this one's called. I remember it being called The Nervous Man. I think it's like The Nervous Man Who Cries, or The Nervous Man in the World, or something like that, but it's The Nervous Man.
The most nervous man that ever existed in the world to date.
That's it.
That's it?
All very, very good. Except for Mr. Dingle.
Now, was season 2 the one where you get, like, Toy Story, basically?
Here, this is A Nervous Man in a $4 Room.
Correct.
That's the one, okay.
I don't remember that one.
Well, you'll see it when it happens, I guess. And then apparently we get a Toy Story episode in here?
Well, are you talking about the one with the doll?
It's the, like, 4 people.
That one is... How do you feel about that one? Some people...
Oh, is that the 4 characters in search of an exit or something like that?
Yes,
Or?
Yeah.
and they're all dressed in like different costumes.
Yes.
That one is a really crazy episode.
Yeah. Especially for its time.
Oh, yeah. Yep, there's 22, which is not the 22nd episode.
Maybe that's season 3, that other one.
Yeah, it's
Ooh,
probably
Shadow
later.
Play.
Oh, you know what? Probably at the start of season 3, they had like 4 or 5 episodes back to back, which were like all super low budget, but
Yeah, there's definitely some good ones. Season 2, I want to say season 3 had a couple of good ones. Season 5, of course, you have the Shatner one, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, and things
Right,
like
yeah.
that.
There's a reason it kept going for that long, I'm sure.
I would say the most famous episode is probably Eye of the Beholder. I would think from season 2.
Oh, from
yeah,
season two.
that's like,
Yeah.
and it's also one of the most like parodied and most.
of course. Yeah.
Good, so I'm sure I'll have no fun with it because everyone else has already used it to death. Yeah, so I guess probably Man in the Bottle will be the next episode. If I don't know if I want to do the first one, whichever that one was.
Man in a Plane time travels.
King 9 will not return. It says here the sole survivor of a World War II bomber crash cannot find a trace of his crew, but he does see jet planes flying overhead.
I really don't remember that one.
Yeah,
That sounds like 45 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a ghost.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Howling Man, I remember, actually.
I don't remember that one.
Remember the priest is like, oh, this guy is a demon. And the dude comes up and he's like, well, I'm not. I'm just a dude. Let me go. This guy's got me prisoner. And it's just like, oh, who is he believing? The guy who's being held prisoner or the priest?
Vaguely.
It's interesting.
The Invaders I never liked. That's like one of the ones they always play in the reruns, like, and I was never impressed. That's with the miniature.
People always talk about that. Yeah.
I never even
coming after
understood
her.
that episode.
I think that's I think that one they kind of. You ever see the movie The Gate?
Nope.
When little kids they open up the portal to hell and all those like little claymation dudes come after them.
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. Sounds glorious.
Yeah. So you got some good ones coming up.
Yeah, according to you guys anyway. We'll see if that's true. Because there's been ones from this season that we watched that they were like, oh, this is a masterpiece. And we went, no. No, it is clearly not.
Mm-hmm.
It is 22 minutes of a woman walking around an empty warehouse. It is not entertaining.
That's about 3 episodes, so I'm not sure which one you're referring to.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
point.
That's either the one where
That's my point. That's 3 episodes, but one of them got an award.
I think my favorite from this season is still the 3 astronauts.
yeah,
They
that
get
one's
crashed
very good.
and keep vanishing.
That's 4 of us are dying.
Nope. You're thinking of the one where the guy can change his face.
Oh, you're right. What's that one with the astronauts called? Where they keep disappearing,
I don't
and then it's just
What?
the empty room or something. Her name X1.
Her
Oh,
name!
that one they kept. Yeah, and then people would forget that they existed.
Yeah.
Remember Steve? A buddy?
No, this room's been empty forever.
Yeah.
We keep 4 beds in there, empty all the time in a crowded hospital. That
desperately needs.
right.
What's the worst episode of season 1?
Oh.
There's so many. It's just like it's hard.
Is it the one with okay, who's the worst character in season 1? Is it Cad Wallander?
When you say it, my brain immediately goes to that, like the second episode of the old guy who's like
I love
taking
him.
care of the kids or whatever,
Oh.
Guy taking care of the kids.
The salesman.
and then the salesman who's like, "I'll fix your toy, kid, and come back for the
Oh,
ice cream
God.
social and whatever, all that other
Yeah.
stuff." Yeah, that whole thing was just like really weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty shit.
That was What was it called? Oh, One for the Angels. That's what it was, right?
Oof.
Yeah, looking at the list now right here. I don't know. The problem is, too, so many of the stories are the same. So I'm reading these, and it's like, this is what happens in it, and I go, I don't know which one that is. A thug tries to exploit the abilities of a peddler. What? That's all of them!
Oh, I remember that one.
Who could see into the future and discern what the person would... Oh, right. The guy gets killed at the end, right.
And when the sky was open. Wait, no,
That-
that's another 3 astronauts.
No, that was it. Were they... Oh, wait.
No, that's a different one.
Are you sure? No, which one was the one where they keep vanishing? I think that was when the sky was... Oh.
Third from the Sun. No.
It must have been that one. And
No,
when
Third from the Sun is where
Yeah.
they were like, oh, the war's coming. We have to get off the planet.
Yes, and when the sky was open was the one I really
Okay.
liked.
Yeah.
What's the one where the guy? Oh, the Lonely, I think it is. Actually, the guy who played McGarry in the Mighty Casey. He was the one. Remember, he was the prisoner on the
prisoner.
planet, on the asteroid by himself.
Right.
Oh, the chaser was trash. Fucking garbage.
The Chaser.
That's
That's
the
what
love
it-
potion one.
The fucking, the molester there, who's the hero.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The fucking date rapist
Yeah.
protagonist.
The Big Tall Wish. I like that one.
I only like that one because it was genuinely nice to see a variety in acting style and, literally just seeing black people as the star of the episode was like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this is so rare. It's amazing.
I still like that one where, I don't know what. Well, Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
I think that might be the
thought
best
was-
one of the season.
Ah, you know what? That might be.
That might be the best one of the whole season, yeah.
Yeah, and you are right. The ones that are more famous aren't really the ones that hold up as much. You know, whether that's like Mirror Image is very famous.
Sometimes I feel like they're too topical. Although, ironically, the one that I think holds up the best is the one that's the most topical.
Yeah.
Talking about McCarthyism. Ooh, I think Execution might have been the worst one. That whole episode made no fucking sense. That whole episode, none of it made not a single thing any actor did made any sense. Although not their fault, I'm sure it was the script direction. But oh man,
How does he find his way back to the scientist's lab?
I don't understand. Yo,
Is it in this season? I don't remember. It could have been in this season, or it could be in season 2 or 3 or 5. Do you remember the episode where the guy is going to be executed and everyone is just like, yeah, just kill him, and it's like, no, he might be innocent. No, just kill him. And like the weather's getting worse and worse because it's kind of like God is turning his back on all these people for just like being like, fuck this guy.
I don't recall that.
Then I
No.
think it's coming up.
yeah, it wasn't
'cause
this
that one's
episode. The
pretty
only
good.
Execution is the only one that I remember has an execution in it. So
Well, what was the one where the guy was going to be executed? And
you really set yourself up right here for this guy.
no, it's not execution. It can't be.
Go ahead.
It's not a cowboy. It's like it was like a modern times. Remember? And then, like, the devil, like, he makes a deal with the devil.
Oh, you talking about the guy who was running away from the cops?
Yeah.
And then Pip, the angel, shows up?
That,
Yes.
what was the one we did recently with... Oh, Passage for Trumpet. Yeah, Passage for Trumpet.
Don't kill yourself.
Where that, yeah, it was all about, like it was so, like, earnest about, like, suicide and depression, and we were all just like, ugh.
Well,
we
which one
we
was
get
that?
this. A Passage for
trumpet
Trumpet.
Oh, right. Yeah, with Klugman. Yeah,
That was rough.
Old Jack Klugman.
So, you know what? Pretty big mixed bag.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Execution is the worst, and Monsters Are Due on Maple Street is the best, I think. Okay. I'm not sure if that's right.
I still like And When the Sky Was Open.
I think
but
that's my favorite.
I could maybe settle on Monsters Are Due, but I think And When the Sky Was Open was still my favorite.
I think What You Need is the one I hate the most.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's what you need.
Oh, yeah, that one's pretty bad, too. There were quite a few bad ones.
Oh, Escape Clause is terrible. That's the one with Cadwallader. Where the guy's a dick.
Oh, yeah.
That one is...
Yeah, that one was really bad, too. The
that one's terrible. Yeah, he's just... Ugh.
You look like someone having a heart attack.
And then whatever one had the cowboy where he takes the magic potion, and then at the end he finds that the guy he's gonna kill in the duel also took the magic potion.
Oh, what the hell was that one? Yeah. That was trash too. Was that a real episode? Did we really do that episode?
Mr. Denton on Doomsday.
That's it.
Yeah, that was. Oh, it's all the way up there. Yeah. That's right. I remember his name more than Dan Durya.
And of course, we have to have respect for the first one.
Where is it?
Customer here. $2.85.
I got $2 for crying out
Eggs
loud.
over easy.
I got $2.
Yeah, we've had some. Oh man, we've had some good ones. Now that I think about it, I've liked more than I've hated on this first season.
I'm just thinking about that now, going back. Like, I have to wonder if, like, was $2 a lot of money, or was he one of those self-important guys who thinks $2 is a lot of money?
My $2.
But he doesn't actually know how much money the rich have, so he doesn't realize that $2 is like, 30 cents, bro. You got nothing. Like, yeah, your $2 looks real great next to my $500,000 in a time where eggs cost cents.
Twilight Zone.
Food. Food's always been a scam. That's where I'm going now with this. It's always like the most fucked up part of a restaurant when you're trying to go like, oh, what can I eat at this restaurant? There's so many options. Hey, you know what never has gotten anyone sick? Pasta. I'll order that. Oh, cool. It's $15, please. How much did it cost us to make this? We lit a fire, which we could have done anyway. And then we bought $1 worth of material.
Gotcha.
$15, please. It's the only way we can make the swordfish affordable. Oh, that and using faulty swordfish.
I would say out of all of these,
Faulty.
the episode that we disagreed on the most
Right.
is
Yes,
Time
of course.
Enough at Last.
It's trash.
Love it. Love Burgess.
Because that's where it starts for a lot of us. Is it's you watch the episode and you go, that's a good episode. But we watch the episode and we go, yo, the fucking Foley expert. And like, it's all just like clown music and shit. And, like him getting pied in the face and then reacting to it.
No, that's the Alfred Chicken soundtrack. I'm 90% sure. He has copyright struck
Yo.
No,
from the makers.
because the company that owned Alfred Chicken and created Alfred Chicken dissolved and nobody bought the rights and intellectual property. It's abandoned.
So it's up for grabs.
What are you doing with your life right now, sir? You have already purchased every game possible off of eBay in every cartridge and disc form.
Look, maybe I hypothetically was like, how much would it cost to buy the rights to Alfred Chicken? Maybe. I'm just saying hypothetically, it could have happened.
Well, hypothetically, what would the number come back if it was asked?
I don't know, because I couldn't, the company dissolved and I couldn't find, how do you...
They stopped returning my calls.
Yo, just go to a patent office and go, it's mine now.
Maybe.
Who's going to show up and argue that? Oh, the people who own it? Cool, I'd like to buy it from you.
Yeah.
Speaking of owning all the games, the RetroPie is the greatest gift I've ever gotten in my entire life.
Yeah.
It's the greatest thing. If I could just get like a PlayStation, like a PlayStation 1, because
those are harder. But yeah,
I know.
I've looked into that. It's harder with all the BIOS and all that stuff. Although it's probably gotten easier since the last time I've looked into it, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't looked in a few years at
That's what I mean.
Stuff like that.
It's probably gotten easier since then. So we're still recording for some reason. And next episode, fuck it, we're going to do Man in a Bottle, episode 2, season 2. Wherein, what does it say? Oh, this is probably going to give away a lot of it, though. Genie grants 4 wishes to an unsuccessful pawnbroker and his wife. Ooh, it's probably going to be like a monkey's fist thing, isn't it?
Oh, I think this might be one I hated.
This is an awful one.
Because not for nothing,
This is
but
awful.
monkey's paws have usually about 4 wishes on them if you count the thumb.
Yeah. This is one I hated.
Yeah, this is one of the worst I can remember from the entire show.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Start off hot.
Start off hot.
Yeah.
Do you remember, considering we're going to skip it, do you remember what this one is about?
That's the one that we were saying. It sounds like a ton of ones.
Yeah. Because it's either a guy flies his plane and ends up in the future, or a guy flies his plane and ends up in the past, or a whole bunch of people fly a plane and end up in the past, or they fly and there's a monster on the wing, or they fly and they end up in the past again, or sometimes
he's
they're
on
just
the ship,
on
and then
the
it turns out that
ground.
he's a Nazi.
Yes. That was a bad one, too.
I did like some of the camera work.
Turns out it was all hallucinations built on by survivor's guilt.
Oh, there you go.
That's how it ends.
Oh, so just like the Nazi one.
Yeah. Oh, except it wasn't, because then when the nurse lifts up his jacket, sand spills out of his pocket.
I do remember that one.
Yeah, there you go.
Why did I think that one was cool?
It might be the drama of him like in his mind, although in reality in the play, surviving a wartime situation without any of his comrades, but still trying to find his brothers in arms. There could be a good emotional part to it, or I don't know. Who knows? Maybe there's an actor in blackface, and you're like, oh boy.
And on that note, join us for
VictoryProWrestling.com for our next show. Might be in April, might be in May. Whole company might be shut down because I wanted $65 for a copay. You figure it out, folks. But you can find out the latest, greatest, and platest news at VictoryProWrestling.com.
Get Your Plate at the platest.
I'm trying to look it up right now. April 18th would be the next show if it's still happening.
I'm pretty sure they're calling that off.
But that can't, I don't know. Yeah, Glory Days, which is what it was called.
Oh, no. Actually, what it was being advertised as was Spring Fever.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well.
Yes.
And they just changed it to like Spring something. Something not fever.
No, it's something like that indicates that we're going to have a blow-off, spring blowout or something. It's something that is like, this is the end of a feud, but I don't know if we have any feuds.
Nope.
Maybe the tag team champions are doing something, because I
okay.
feel like they have been doing a thing, but I don't know what it is.
Springtime for Hitler.
Yeah, I don't think we could call it that either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so VictorProWrestling.com, you can find out stuff about that if any of us are still alive when this comes out. Huge, do you have anything?
Yeah. The Wire. It's an incredible show. All right? If you're going to watch it, don't watch it on Amazon Prime.
I have to stop you and ask you,
Copper?
do you think that by April will most people have already watched The Wire, considering they've all been quarantined for about a month now?
I like to hope so, but I just have lost my faith in this country.
Cool.
So you can go to thewire.biz.net And check out all the episodes of The Wire on that I just bought.
TheWire.bean.
.gov.
No. We don't want to be part of the I've explained this to you before. When we get the .gov, the gov gets the money.
Well, what do we get?
Nothing. Just the notoriety of having a secure website, being a subsidiary.
I'm sick of the notoriety.
We get security, but it's for a very minute... Well, actually, you're part of that. It's a VBS 3. Actually, that's not true. It would be just me. You guys wouldn't get anything.
So you're the government.
I am the government, yeah. Technically speaking. I would reap the benefits and watch you suffer, yes.
Huh.
Sounds like the government.
So go to huge.com/thewire to find
Man's
out.
got to have a
To
code.
order your favorite kind of wire.
I've got copper wire. I've got speaker wire, which may contain some copper in it.
Turns out it's all copper.
Look, it's the same wire.
It's an extremely expensive.
over and over again, and I give it different names to sell it.
I got thin wire. I got fat wire. I got in between wire.
Just don't put it in between anything. It does not work that way.
Yeah, no. Don't do that.
So again, that's huge.fun/com for whatever that was. And the intro music is Falling Out Your Love by Kill Paris. For Huge and J Delta, I'm Jimmy Time. Please remember that without the mistakes of others, we'd be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts. The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.